Hi, my name is Jen Ruge and welcome to June's episode of the Biodynamic Planting and Sowing Calendar by Thun. We'll have a look at this month today and what's coming up. Now, for us here at the Weleda Gardens, it's been another really unusual year in terms of weather pattern and plant growth. The pest pressures is really quite high this year in terms of slugs, but also aphids. So it's even more important to keep applying the fundamental principles of agroecological farming and biodynamic methods. So keep using whole manure and horn silica, equisetum where necessary, but also nettle feed. Really simple, basic method to help your plants build up some resilience, feed them to deal with these stressful situations and fluctuating temperatures and extreme rainfall events, etc. And of course, build up a resilient ecosystem as well. So have areas in your garden where it's, let's say, a bit untidy, a bit wilder, so you have enough habitat for your predators and your pollinators to keep the ecosystem in check, because that will help with any pest or diseases. Let's have a look at the first half of June and the calendar. You can see there's quite a lot of grey bars, blank days, unfavourable times, which are as usual informed by perigee, but also ascending and descending nodes, which by now I think you all know are times where it's best to just relax and not do too much with your crops. Another important time period is this bar here, the northern transplanting time from the 7th of June until the 22nd. So if you've got any seedlings or transplants that need to go into the ground, or if you want to relocate plants, that would be a time as well to do that, which is more favorable based on the constellations. And then I would say June is usually also a good time to get your winter greens, brassicas, cabbages, kale started. Based on Thun, ideally you would choose a leaf day. And you can see again in the calendar, there's quite a few green bars here. You can look at the dates in the first half of June, but also in the second half of June. If it fits in with your calendar, try it out. Sow some winter greens on a leaf day, on maybe one on a flower day, a root day, and a fruit day, and see what happens and what kind of results you're getting, and the impact you can see in the plant growth, but also in the yield potentially. It's quite a fun thing to do, and something for you to really do your own experiments with. Thun herself has documented quite a few interesting experiments with regards to sowing times. You can read more about it in Gardening for Life, but there's a photo that I wanted to show you. Have a look at this. These are all kohlrabis, and they were all sown during perigee, so when the moon is closest to Earth, which usually informs these grey bars in the calendars, the blank unfavourable times. And as you can see, they're looking quite poorly. 25 out of 50 plants have produced these results, so that's 50%, which is quite significant when you're relying on yield. The other interesting observation they made is shown in the top picture here, where the kohlrabis have been sown on leaf days, on flower days, on root days, and on fruit days. And you can also see the impact. Like here on the leaf day, you've got a really nicely formed kohlrabi, and the others have shown more characteristics of the days they were sown at. Just something interesting to consider and maybe observe going forward. In the Weleda garden, June is quite a busy month where we do a lot of our harvests and make fresh plant tinctures. But it's also a time where we start off our biennial plants and perennial plants for the upcoming years. For instance, Scotch thistles, cowslips, rooters, all plants that we use to make tinctures, which then go into our skincare, but also our medicinal remedies and pharmaceuticals. These we usually start off on flower days because a lot of our plants are flowering plants. But if a flower day is not available, a fruit day would be the next best thing for us to choose. talking about flower days, now is also a good time to start collecting chamomile flowers to make the 503 biodynamic chamomile preparation. Ideally, you do that on a flower morning. Now, June is a bit sparse for flower mornings. You get a few in the first half of the month, and then a couple more in the second half. It's those yellow bars. So yeah, if you get a chance, go out and collect your own chamomile flowers. So in the autumn, you can start making your own preparation. Most importantly, for the chamomile preparation, do collect the German chamomile, not the Roman chamomile. You can easily identify it because the German chamomile has a bigger cone-shaped yellow center, which if you slice it in half is hollow, and that's how you ID it correctly. Thank you for joining me today and looking further into the Thun Biodynamic Planting and Sowing Calendar. I hope it's given you some inspiration and hopefully motivation to get out into your garden and continue to grow vegetables and flowers, and yeah, just enjoy it really.